Good morning, everyone. This is Chris on IMTN Worldwide Radio. This is around the ATL, 4:30 in the morning. I gotta stop doing this. So today we're going to talk about Game 5 of the Atlanta Hawks regular season against the Washington Wizards. As you remember, they had just lost a close game in Atlanta against the Wizards, and then they went on the road to play. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Of course, we have to jump ahead. We just beat the Knicks in a really big game at home. It was a huge home win. It was a rivalry game per 4 years ago. We know what happened there. Trey had a little fun with that as the Knicks fans that were there were walking out. You go watch the highlights as far as that goes. But we're going to talk Wizards today. But before then, let's do some house cleaning a little bit. Of course, take the time, subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide page on YouTube to watch Around the ATL future and past episodes. And make sure that you're following on Facebook and Instagram, IMTN Worldwide Radio. So if you're on Facebook more or Instagram more, pick your poison and choose one of the two. You can also follow on Twitter. Myself is Intellect ATL. You see it scrolling right there. And then also Jordan23 ATL, which is my co-host Jordan Jackson. Again, he's not available as he's helping his mom as she battles cancer. So make sure you keep them in your thoughts. For our sponsor for today, that is going to be Southern Classic Transportation. And I'm trying to find their banner real quick. Give me a second here. It's early in the morning, guys. I've never done a show this early before. So I'm kind of struggling just a little bit, but I'm going to get through it, though, somehow. There it is. And here is their logo or their card. So this weekend is a perfect example. Who plans to go to New Orleans for the Falcons game this weekend? Why not get shuttled there, chauffeured there in style using Southern Classic Transportation? Call 404-291-0150. You can go to the website there, scrolling at the bottom, southernclassiclimo.com. Make sure you contact Dennis and make sure you let him know you found out about it from Around the ATL. That's very important. So if you want to go to the New Orleans Saints game against the Falcons, be driven there, real nice, very comfortable. I know some of the people who work there, they're very polite, very respectful. Or you need to go to the airport from wherever you live and you want to go in style and comfort. You don't want to wait on Uber. You don't want to pay a taxi, things of that nature. You want actual car service. Or you need to go out of state for a business meeting, whatever it is, hit up Southern Classic Transportation, 404-291-0150. And again, make sure you let them know that Around the ATL sent you. Last but not least, make sure I'm making a big push right now because it is what it is for this year. IMTN Worldwide Images, that's my company. I do photography. So you can visit imtnworldwideimages.com or follow on Instagram, IMTN Worldwide Images 1 on Instagram. I do a little bit of everything. So I'll give you a few examples real quick before we get started. If you know ladies who want to model, restaurants who have servers that they need pictures for their restaurant. This picture right here is actually from Twin Peaks. You need headshots. You're trying to act, or you need business headshots for your company. I do that as well. You're a couple, wife, husband, you want pictures. There you go. I can do that. Again, modeling headshots. I do that. More headshots. I forgot to take it off. There you go. Full picture. So if you need pictures, make sure you hit up around IMT and Worldwide Images. Again, it's 4:30 in the morning. You have to excuse me just a little bit. I just woke up literally out of the days. I've been up for like 30 hours in a row, apparently. So that being said, let's get into it. That's my announcements for today. So game 5 against the Washington Wizards. So what happened in that game? We lost that game 133 to 120. They scored 133 points. All right. So how did that happen? We need to figure this out, right? So if you haven't watched my previous shows, I do urge you to do that because it gives you full context as far as what I do, but I'll explain it. When I do these reviews, I'm doing shot for shot. How did the opposing team score against the Atlanta Hawks? How did it happen? What really happened on the court? That's what I'm doing, okay? And I'm breaking it down, but I've added something in my reviews, and I'll get to that in a second. So there was a stat that I saw. This was last week now, but again, I'm just now catching up. That posted that Trae Young leads the NBA in points created for their teams. At the time, it was 178 points. We know that's a little bit more from this particular game. James Harden was number 2 with 139, and Joker was 3rd with 128. And remember, this is with a team full of injuries, right? Players that haven't had the greatest starts, and he still leads the NBA in points created for their team. I think that's pretty good. So again, this is game 5 of the regular season, and you still have people blaming Trae Young for everything that goes bad. Everything, okay? Keep that in mind. I'm jumping ahead to the future a little bit again as on my reviews, the Kings game. That Kings game was very interesting. And what I decided to do is go back and look at all of the shots that were missed that was a result of a pass from Trae Young. Just because, just for the heck of it, I just wanted to see something, okay? And it was startling what I found out. The Atlanta Hawks left 37 points on the board in that Kings game. 37 on mostly non-contested jumpers or layups or dunks. 37 points. 8 of those were in the fourth quarter. If you remember what the final score was of that Kings game, do the math. That's kind of a big deal, don't you agree? Right? So when I get to that Kings game, I'm going to break that one down for you as well. But 37 points you would think is a lot. And people will say, well, Chris, you expect everybody to hit 100% of their shots? And the answer is no. But if you're wide open, you're in the NBA for a reason. You got to knock those down because everybody else knocks them down against us, don't they? They're wide open. They always knock them down. For us, why don't we knock all of them down? Right? Because one of the things I've always said about Trae, he's trying to pass all the time. He's trying to get 30 assists in a game. He's trying to get 25 assists in a game. He's trying to do that, literally. And he's only getting 11 assists a game. Think about that. Again, he's a league leader in assists every year. And the Hawks teams have nowhere near the talent of all the other teams that they go up against. And that's just a pure fact, right? Up till at least this year. But he's been a league leader before that. So what if we had more players that could hit shots on a more regular basis? What do you think would happen? The Hawks left 37 points against the Kings on the table from missed shots, wide open jumpers, layups. That's a lot of points, don't you agree? Even if it was just half of 37, that's 18. Hawks still win that game. Even if you halved it again and it's just 9 points, the Hawks still win that game. But we left that many on the board. So I did it for this Washington game, game 5. So, and I actually pulled some tape just for this example, because this is new for my review. Okay. So I didn't do all of them, just one per quarter, because it's too much video. So first quarter of that Wizards game, game 5 of the season, Roddy had 2 threes from passes from Trey. He missed both of them. That's 6 points. JJ had an alley-oop blocked, and then a 3-pointer that was wide open. He missed it. That's 5 points. Zach had a layup, didn't hit it, 2 points. Clint had a missed layup, 2 points. Okongwu had a wide open 3, missed it. Now I'm going to show you that one right now.
Second line of defense and continued his way to the cup. Nicely executed.
Oh, Trey got him dancing. Then he kicks it out.
He missed that shot. Okay. So, and you heard it. Trey got him dancing, right? Okongwu was wide open. There was nobody there to contest, and he missed that shot, right? That's an extra 3 points. So just in the first quarter, the Hawks didn't score 18 points on 7 passes from Trey. Now, remember, I'm going to repeat this a couple of times. In this game, Trey went for 35 and 15 in this game. He had 15 assists in this game. Second quarter, Okongwu missed 2 threes in the second quarter, passes from Trey. That's 6 points. Garrison missed a wide open 3 for 3 points. Zach, 2 more threes for 6 points. That's 15 more points that the Hawks didn't score on 6 more passes from Trey. I'll show you the Zachary shot.
Precise information there to learn from, and that's what all these young players are having the opportunity to do, learning in the game.
He missed that shot. So going into halftime, we're missing 33 points on 13 shots. So we'll use the verbiage. 33 possible points on 13 extra passes from Trey. That's a lot of passing. Remember, he had 15 assists. So he passed it at least 15 times to get those 15 assists, right? Here's an extra 13 passes for you, 33 points left on the board. Now, in the third quarter, it was only 1 pass that was missed. That was Clint. And I'll show you that one real quick.
It's just Capella's 3rd board tonight.
That was a nice read by Jordan Poole on the cross match to go ahead and take it up in there.
Trey inside to Capella. That was blocked by Sarr.
Okay. So all told, you're missing another 35 points on 14 passes that we didn't get. So when you look at it just from that perspective, is this lost Trey's fault? Because I keep saying these things because people keep wanting to blame one player when it's the whole team. And it's defense and offense. You got to hit these open shots. When someone's giving you all these open opportunities, there's a lot of open opportunities, right? A whole bunch of them. And if you go back and you look at all of these, I couldn't pull all of them because I wouldn't have been able to get any of this done if I tried to do both offense and defense. I can't do that. It's too much. But I showed you a little glimpse of shots that aren't going in, but they're wide open, like wide open. When I say wide open, I mean they're wide open. You have the shot. You got to hit those, right? And I've been saying this for years. If we did, Trey would be averaging 17 assists a game, literally, because he's trying to pass. He wouldn't have to score as much as he has to if everybody was scoring around him, right? So that just gives you a little bit of a glimpse. But again, 35 points on 14 assists left on the board, okay? So, or if he didn't pass, maybe he just dropped 70 every night. He's capable of it. We know that for a fact, right? He's capable. So, again, the purpose of my review is to show you how teams get points on the Atlanta Hawks, how we give up points, okay? to show it's a whole team that's doing it. It's not just one person. It's not just one individual. One individual can't win or lose a game. And that's all team sports, really. Okay. So what are the things I talk about all the time? Having pride on defense, right? You gotta want to stop somebody, right? You gotta stop the ball on fast break. Somebody got to stop the ball. Stop letting teams dictate what happens off of a missed shot, right? Rotate to the open man. No matter what the situation is, if somebody is open, you got to get to them. Standing in the paint or standing somewhere, waiting for something to happen, looking, ball watching, that's not defense. It's just not. Blocking out. When that ball is in the air, you got to know where your man is. And if you don't, you got to get yourself assigned to somebody and really block them out. Like just standing there with somebody next to you is not blocking out. Touching them is not blocking out. You have to hinder their movement so they are not the ones who can get the ball. Okay? You have to contest all shots, all through the possession. Standing 30 feet away is not a contest. Standing with your arm up in the air is not a contest. Standing without your arm in the air is not a contest. You see what I'm saying? You have to contest all shots. You have to stay with your assignment throughout the whole possession. There's so many times where we just leave our guys alone and we just let them do whatever. That's ridiculous. We never communicate on defense. This is one of the main reasons we lose games, because you don't know what's going on around you. Nobody is helping you out because you're selfish. Getting back on defense, again, you can't stay with your man. You got to call it out and then pick up somebody else's man on that fast break. For whatever reason, if you hanging your head because you missed a shot, you're disheveled, you're down. No, you need to be sprinting down to help your guys out. You missed a shot, okay, fine. You need to get back on defense and prevent a bucket. Overhelping. One of the other reasons we lose games because we overhelp way too much for an NBA team. So these are things I talk about continually on the show. So now we're going to break down what happened in the game. So the Wizards had 56 points in the paint in this game. And I forgot to do something here. What am I doing? What am I doing? It's 4:30 in the morning. And there it is. Wizards had 56 points in the paint. They had 19 second chance points. They had 25 fast break points in this game. They hit 16 threes. Now, I'm going to refer to last year. The Hawks gave up 14 threes a game last year. Now, if you watch my episode called Defensive Rating, I urge you to go and watch that on Around the ATL, on IMTN Worldwide Radio. Go watch that one. Currently, the Hawks give up 17 or more threes a game this season. That's bad. We're at the bottom of the league. We're the worst team in basketball in giving up threes. We also give up 40% from three. We give up a total of 42 or more threes every game. You can't sustain winning like that. In this Knicks game that we just won, the Knicks hit 22 three-pointers in the game. That's not sustainable, okay? But anyway. And the Wizards game before this game, game 4, we gave up 21 threes. You see what I'm saying? Like, one player can't give up 21 threes by themselves, can they? We'll get to that in this game eventually as well. Top 3 Wiz players. Bilal had 27 and 9, 3 steals and a block on 11 of 14 shooting. 78% from the floor, 3 of 5 from 3, 6%. Poole was 6 of 17 from shooting, but 4 of 9 from 3. At 24 points, 9 assists, 3 steals. He hit all of his free throws. Valanciunas was 8 of 10 from the floor, hit a 3, had 22 points, 8 boards, had 6 assists as well. Now for the Hawks, they did have 66 points in the paint. That helped offset the points in the paint that they gave up to the Wiz. They also had 17 second chance points. Again, they offset the second chance points they gave up to the Wiz, but they only had 12 fast break points, so that's bad. They only hit 12 threes, okay? at 30%, so not a good percentage. Now for the Hawks, Jalen was 9 of 21 from the floor, 1 of 5 from 3. He had 21 and 17 in this game, 17 rebounds, that is, had 4 assists, 3 steals. Zach had his best game as a pro up to this point. 7 of 15 shooting, 2 of 7 from 3, had 17 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. One of the things that I talked about earlier this summer was that we are going to be a better team with Zachary starting because he's going to provide some things that Hunter doesn't. He actually plays some defense. He actually puts effort into it. And on a lot of games this year, he's either getting steals or blocks or both, right? You've seen that, right? We are not last in block shots this year so far. If anybody's checked that. And again, I broke that down in the defensive rating episode. I urge you to go check that show out. Trey was 12 of 28 in this game. He was terrible from 3, 4 of 13, but he had 35 points, 15 assists, hit all of his free throws, had 4 boards, had 2 steals. So again, it's Trey's fault that we lost this game? Teams were even on boards, assists, steals. Wiz had 3 more blocks. Turnovers were even. Wiz shot better from the floor and from the three-point line and from the free throw line. So you have some differences there. So we lost by 13, though. Now, remember, I just let you know that we left 35 points on the board from wide open shots from Trae Young, passes from Trae Young. We left 35 points on the board. We lost by 13. So you tell me how that's Trae's fault, too. First quarter, first shot. Let's sync it up. So right off the bat, what did I say earlier? People don't stay with their assignments, right? So if your man isn't in the paint, I don't care if you're a big, I don't care if you're a guard, I don't care if you're a wing. If your man is not standing in the paint, is there any reason that you're in the paint? I want someone to answer that. Again, the comment section is open. Whenever you end up, when you wake up and you happen to watch this, and you get to this point of the video at the 23:07 mark, comment and tell me what is the reason that you would be standing in the paint even though your man is somewhere else. Your assignment, who you're supposed to be guarding. I want you to explain it to me. Is there any reason? Ever a reason for that? All right. Sar has the ball. He dribbles, hands off to Poole. Poole dribbles a bit. Sar glides to the corner 3. Now, Clint is looking at Poole as he stands in the paint, creating a shot opportunity for Sar, and he still doesn't do anything about it. Poole passes it to Sar for an open 3, which he hits. Remember, the Wiz hit 16 threes, and this is the first one. Explain why this is Trey's fault.
Gediminas Petritis in his 10th. He's from Germantown, Maryland. Graduated from Northwest High School and the University of Maryland. And Simone Jelks in her 5th season. JP on a drive and kick out to Alex Sar for 3.
All he has to do is just stay with his man, and that shot is not possible. Sar has to pass the ball to somebody else. I don't understand. I want someone to tell me what's wrong, because it happens every game. It's been happening every game for years now, and it ain't cool. Second shot, off of a missed shot. This is a fast break. Right here, only Trey gets back. He makes Karen and passes the ball to Poole. Trey then switches to Poole, who passes it to Sar. He actually misses it, but nobody blocks out. And so Bilal ends up dunking it. So nobody gets back, nobody blocks out. What were 2 of the tenets I talked about earlier? Blocking out and getting back on defense. We don't do that as a team. That's a team issue right there. Now, again, to be fair, Zach and Clint contested the Sar shot. Okay. But at the end of the day, for the ones who hate Trae Young, I'm going to give these to Trae because even though he was back, he could have blocked out Bilal, I guess. But let's watch it.
The Wizards showing zone, which is going to leave Richache open. Bub Carrington on the run. He's got numbers. Poole upstairs to Sar, misses, but there's Bilal snatching the rim.
So again, hindsight 2020, I could have just gave those 2 points to the whole team because nobody did their job, but I'm going to give those to Trae. Those are extra 2 points right there. Third shot of the game. On the inbound pass, Trey has George. George cuts and gets in front of Trey for a layup. Now, this one, definitely I'm going to give to Trey. But again, though, Clint didn't even contest this shot for some reason. But this is on Trey because you got to know where your man is. He was guarding. That's his man in this case.
Underneath to Keyshawn George on the out of bounds. George had only 3.
Now I'm going to play it again. I know it's quick, but it's still a matter of if you're the big, that is your job to control the paint. So even if someone messes up, you're supposed to erase the mess ups. That's what Mutombo did. All the mistakes that the Hawks would have. That's the whole point of having the big, is that they erase mistakes. That's what Wemby does for the San Antonio Spurs, right? I'll play it again real quick.
Underneath to Keyshawn George on the out of bounds. George had only 3.
See, Clint should have 3-4 blocks a game. Last year, he averaged 1.5, which is not a lot in even today's NBA, really. To be a big and, not, well, I won't even get into that, but he should have more than 1.5 blocks. I don't even know what he has this year, but it's probably not 1.5 at this point. Fourth shot. So again, we don't talk on defense. So here's another inbound play. Okay. Roddy has Carrington. Zach is on Poole. Carrington passes it to Sarr. Carrington dives for the basket. Roddy does not yell out switch. So Zach can go to Carrington. What's JJ doing in this possession? I want you to watch JJ. Okay. He becomes a help defender, but nobody says anything. Zach didn't even look at Carrington. He's looking at the ball as well. I'm giving these to Zach, but just watch this whole play develop. This is the 4th shot of the first quarter.
He's our best defender by far, and that's the challenge.
Another nice cut. And a reverse layup by Bub Carrington.
You see what I said? JJ was the help defender. JJ was the help defender, but didn't move. Zach got backdoor for not paying attention to his man, because we always keep turning our backs to guys. That's not good. And there's another point in the paint. Again, they have 56 points in the paint in this game. 5th shot off of a turnover.
Sharing is caring here early for the Wizards as they lead by 3.
Well, that's what Washington did very well, especially in the third quarter.
Wow,
Monday
coming
night.
up with the steal now. Got a little 2-on-1. Keyshawn, touch the rim, young fella.
So 2-on-1. Trey is back again by himself. He's trying to do what he can, but again, 2-on-1 is pretty tough. But that was a Roddy turnover. That turnover should never even have happened. But anyway, 6th shot. Nobody blocks out. Nobody blocks out. Nobody blocks out. So we're ball watching. And again, ball watching is not defense. Nothing can happen until the ball actually hits the rim. So when the ball is in the air, you're supposed to be attaching yourself to somebody to prevent them from being able to get the ball. I said that earlier, right? So on this missed 3 from George, Clint doesn't block out Sarr. Okay. And at this point, Trey saw George raise up. He doesn't block out Bilal. Roddy is also there. Okay. He makes no effort to do anything either. And we give up a layup.
Get the easy buckets.
4 assists on 5 made field goals for the Wizards. And there's a block by Sarr. George, pull up. A tap in there by Bilal Coulibaly.
See, there's nowhere in the world anybody can excuse 3 players giving up a layup like that. There's 3 players in the paint like that. Clint, your center, Roddy, the body down there, the bigger guy, and Trey. But nobody was attached to anybody, and we gave up a layup on a 3. Anybody care about that? Okay. 7th shot. Again, we don't contest shots. Nance is standing in front of Bilal and doesn't jump to contest. He also was not on Bilal. He was off of him. He wasn't in his face. He was laying off, which was what we do way too much as a team. Again, this is something that's fixable. Watch this.
Against Washington, but against Bilal Coulibaly, he had 5 turnovers.
Bilal now in the corner, touches nothing but nylon with the 3.
Is that effort on defense? Or y'all gonna try to convince me that was supreme effort? And then you're gonna give me an excuse, oh, well, they can't play hard every play. Who can? There are 14 teams that give up 113 points or less in the NBA. We give up 121 points a game. I don't want to hear excuses. That's just stupid to say something like that to me when I just showed you what, look.
Against Washington, but against Bilal Coulibaly, he had 5 turnovers.
Bilal now in the corner, touches nothing but nylon with the 3.
8th shot, off of another turnover, okay? This is off of a turnover. Bilal gets an easy dunk again. Now I'm gonna give this one to Trey as well. I'm gonna give Trey some freebies here because he was back and nobody else was back, so he was the only defender.
Bilal already with 9 points.
You said he was the one that was going to be able to step in the absence of Kyle Kuzma, who was out tonight with injury.
Oh, upstairs, Keyshawn to the young fella.
So sometimes you're back, but just because you're back, you still got to do something. So I'm going to give those to Trey, even though, again, where's everybody else? I'm giving Trey a couple of extra points here that I probably shouldn't, but I'm giving to him. 9th shot. Clint isn't going to stay with this man. He isn't going to stay out of the paint. And he gives another 3 up to Jonas this time, Valanciunas, I should say. 9th shot, first quarter.
He loves a challenge. If you've ever had a chance to listen to what Bilal says about his defensive energy and attention to detail, he wants all the smoke.
Oh, it's about smoke.
Tell me, if you're playing basketball, you just did what Clint did, you get away with that? Your teammates wouldn't say nothing to you. In fact, you would get picked up again next game. Running back and then going to the paint when your man didn't go to the paint, that's not defense. It's just not. Sorry. It's just not. They hit 16 threes in this game. Just keep reminding you of that. 10th shot, first quarter.
Got to be able to find him. He's the head of the snake for the Hawks.
We told you Monday night Trae Young made his first 2 shots. After that, he missed the last 13.
Roddy got blown by Poole. Not hard to explain that one. 11th shot, first quarter.
Matching his point total Monday night. Butler trying to work on Matthews, and he does.
Now, Matthews gave some resistance on that one, but still Butler scored. 12th shot. So this is on a missed shot that turns into a fast break. Nobody stops the ball on the fast break like I always talk about. Again, Trey is back on a 2-on-1. This one I am giving to the whole team. Watch this.
2 minutes to go with JV on the board, but he passes it right to Matthews, who squares up. Misses the 3. Wizards on the run. Butler. PBJ.
Now, at this point of the game, Trey has been back on 3 fast breaks so far, and the rest of the team not getting back. 13th shot. Now, again, you turn your back to your defender. You can't play defense. You don't know where your man is. You have given up your assignment. And for all intents and purposes, you've conceded the shot if they score off of it, right? So off of the screen, Garrison goes to Butler, correctly in this case. Trey switches to Kispert, but then Trey never turns around, and Kispert goes to the bucket and lays it up on a hard contest from Garrison as the help defender, okay? But at the end of the day, Trey turned his back. So this is on Trey.
There was no rotation on that backside for that lob.
I know it's almost Halloween, but Trey gets you in that trick bag. He's either going to hit you with a push shot or he's going to throw a lob up. Corey Kispert muscling his way inside.
You can't turn your back to your man. And the whole Hawks team does this a whole heck of a lot. A whole heck of a lot. All of the players do. Bogey is notorious for it. Bogey gives up the most points on the team a lot because he does that all the time. He's never on his man. And then he's just pointing at people like that's defense. Anyway, that was the last shot of the first quarter. Second quarter, first shot. So again, nobody knows who's guarding anybody because nobody talks. Nobody stays on their man. Nope. We're just ball. Whatever we're doing, we're not doing it on this particular play. So look and see who does Wallace have, who is Zach guarding, who's Roddy guarding. Again, nobody's calling out assignments. You got 4 Hawks standing in the paint when Kispert gets the ball at the top of the key. I'm gonna give these to Roddy though on the drive itself. Okay, because you got 3 Wizards wide freaking open. I want you to also look at JJ and look at what Sarr is doing on this shot. Second shot, first shot, second quarter, my bad.
Kispert, they run him off the three-point line.
All right, now he's a little gunshot now.
Kispert hits this three.
I'm gonna play it again. And again, I want you to watch at the point where you got 4 Hawks standing in the paint instead of being on a man.
Kispert, they run him off the three-point line.
All right, now he's a little gunshot now.
Kispert hits this three.
Guys, this is why we've lost games for the last couple of years, because this is what we do. I've shown you hours of film, the last 8 games of 2023, the 4 preseason games, and all the games up to this game. This is what we do 95% of each game, and it's just not sustainable. It could be changed, it could be adjusted, but this is what happens every night, and it's the whole team. It's not good. Second shot, Bagley from the three-point line drives and lays it up.
And he was the rotational defender there.
The lead is 6 for the Hawks. Their largest lead was 7. Bagman on the floater. I like it.
Nice and smooth.
Nice and smooth, huh? Just laid it up like with nothing. Third shot, second quarter. Valanciunas sets a pick on Zach. O doesn't move up. This is not good.
JV versus the basketball over the Pool. There's that 2-man game we were talking about. Pools 3 deep from Columbia. That's for Phil Chenier.
Sorry, that's not defense. That's not defense on any planet in any universe, whether it be DC or Marvel. That's not defense. If you get picked, you got to come up. To retract or just stand there is not defense. That's an uncontested 3. Our team gives up 17 or more threes every game this season. That's bottom of the league. And this is one of the reasons why. Because we would rather back up and let someone hit a wide open 3 rather than do our job and pick up man. This is simple basketball. You couldn't get away with this if you were playing. You definitely couldn't get away with it if you were playing with me, because I'm going to call you out on it. That was the third shot. Fourth shot. It's going to look eerily similar to the shot I just showed you. So watch this.
He's made tonight.
It looked like Bilal Coulibaly may have gotten a piece of that, but it was directed toward the backboard.
Pool again. That's back-to-back threes. And Quinn Snyder says, that's enough.
Back-to-back threes on the same freaking play. Why is there no effort? Like, again, I want someone to comment. The comment section is open. Comment and tell me why it's so hard for our bigs to just not come up. Like, what are they defending? You're not defending anything from where you're at. Let me play it again.
He's made tonight.
It looked like Bilal Coulibaly may have gotten a piece of that, but it was directed toward the backboard.
Pool again. That's back-to-back threes. And Quinn Snyder says, that's enough.
Again, if you can't recognize in real time what's about to happen when you see your man get picked, that man is now off of who he was guarding. You have to do something about that. Either call out switch, or you got to come up and defend that 3. You got to make them do something else. You got to make them reset. But to concede a 3 like that, again, we lose games simply because of that. So those who missed earlier, besides that, we lose games from a lot of missed shots as well. Trey had 15 assists in this game, but he passed enough to have almost 30 assists. We left 35 points on the board off of missed shots from passes from Trey in this game. 35 points in this game. I showed them earlier. You can go back and watch a little bit. I showed some of them. Okay, but I broke down who did what. Okay, so again, when you talk about cumulative, this is a lot of stuff happening while we lose these games, guys. It's not one person by themselves. Anyway, which one is that? Fifth shot. Oh, by the way, this is the third 3 in a row by the Wizards on this one. Poole gets the ball again. Watch this.
Wizards win the tip. 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Poole comes right back and put the rookie on skates.
How about that? Get an ice patch. Jordan Poole said you're going to get that back.
These announcers are so annoying. It was terrible having to go through all this footage, but I had to do it. Anyway, sixth shot. Sarr brings the ball up. Trey, again, has his back turned to his man. This is on Trey for sure. We ball watch too much on this team, but this is on Trey for sure.
Atlanta hasn't been shooting the 3 ball very well at all. 3 for 16.
Sarr, beautiful feed to Koulibaly, who got behind Trae Young.
Beautifully executed.
Now, strangely enough, that was the last shot that the Wizards hit in that quarter. They only hit 6. Hawks have a 65-57 lead going to the third quarter. This is halftime now. So despite all this foolery, we were winning this game, believe it or not. Third quarter, first shot. Oh, this is just hilarious here. I forgot about this one. Let's show this real quick.
McPeak, Christy Winters-Scott, Trae Young, deep 3, front rims it. JP finding Bub. Bub, foul, counted, and 1.
Now, recently, Trey had made a turnaround 3 like that, but he didn't this time, and you saw what it led to. Now, again, Trey is Trey. He does that kind of stuff sometimes, but the not picking up on defense, pretty bad. Those are his 2 points. In this game, this is the most points that Trey has given up in the 16 games that I've reviewed so far. This is the second most points that Trey has given up in the game, but it still wasn't the most on the team. Just want to throw that out there too. And also Trey at least offset his by 35 and 15 as well. And then he also had 35 points not go in the basket from passes from him. I want to repeat that. 35 points were left on the board in this game from wide open shots. From passes from Trae Young. We should have blown out the Wizards, but we didn't. But anyway, third shot. Wait, no. Second shot. So a missed 3-pointer by Poole. George gets the ball, fakes a 3, then drives on Roddy. JJ is there as the help defender. I want you to see what happens here on the second shot of the third quarter.
Trying to bring the ball up. Here he is to Poole. Keyshawn scoring as he got David Roddy on his hip.
Did JJ move? He did move, but he moved out the way. And see, again, and I've shown hours of footage about this, the Hawks concede too many shots. There is no effort in actually becoming the help defender and helping. And that's selfish. And I've shown this 1,000 times over the last year and a half. It's not a good thing. And it happens a lot on our team. Okay? So, third shot, third quarter. Carrington runs around and hits a jumper. I'm going to go ahead and play this one. Shoot.
Washington comes up with here in terms of maybe getting Jordan Poole off the ball.
Up from the mid-range.
Now, despite that, the Hawks are still winning. Again, you got to remember, we have all these injuries. You got all the excuses and everything. But we're still winning this particular game so far. All right? So when you have a team that gives up so many points as a team, I mean, remember the 157 points that the Hawks gave up to the Pacers, the last game of the regular season in 2023? Did Trae Young give up 157 points, or did the Hawks give up 157 points? I reviewed that game, and I showed you who gave up what points in that game as well. Okay? And Trae Young didn't give up the most points in that game either. All right? So, again, what are you really looking at and what do you really care about when it comes to the Hawks and why they lose these games and why they've been losing games over the last few years? Because again, when Trey came in, he wasn't drafted as a defensive player. There was no expectation he was going to come in as the best defensive player. And he himself has admitted when he came into the league, he wasn't concentrating on defense. And we can see it because he was bad. But every year since then, he has gotten better and better at defense. And again, Trae Young isn't the one who's giving up all the points in all these games. Trae Young gives up points in games. All players give up points in games. The point is, Trae is not the one we're losing games because of the points he's given up. That's the only point I'm showing in all these reviews. And the people who were brought in to play defense haven't. Hunter, Cam, whatever happened to Cam Reddish? You're supposed to be a defender, right? Where is he at now? Clint hasn't been great on defense since 2020. Okay. Where he actually got some Defensive Player of the Year votes, right? We haven't had anybody on the first or second team defense since Paul Millsap. How long was it? And that was second team, by the way. How long ago did Paul Millsap play on the Hawks? And before that, it was Dikembe. Rest in peace. First team, all defense, and also multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year. Finally, we got somebody who wants to play defense in Dyson Daniels. He said in his presser, I'm going to be first team all defense. At least he might be Defensive Player of the Year by the end of the season. Right? All the other teams in the league put people around people to make the whole team better. So whoever the best player on that team is, they piece people together to say, let's make this work. So if it's Luka who plays no defense, he's right behind Trae Young in turnovers per game. Right behind him. They're neck and neck all the time. But they put players around him to say, we got to make Luka better because he can't play a lick of defense. But at least Trae puts in some effort sometimes. Sometimes he don't. Sometimes he don't. Sometimes he do. And he does much more than other people. Again, he's not the worst defender on our team. Believe it or not, he just isn't. For the position that he plays. Again, his guy is not the guy that's dropping 30 on us every night. It's just not happening. I've shown that through hours of footage. Okay. So I just wanted to bring that up before I go to the fourth shot. So again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right now, how come Roddy is on SAR? Not sure why. Wiz run a pick and roll, and again, Roddy is just kind of chilling. And Carrington, you know what he's about to do? Hit another three.
The offense was unaware of his presence there as he tapped it out.
Wiz was getting organized on the offensive end, which leads to a three by Bub Carrington.
Can't do that. You can't do that. I'm going to play it again.
The offense was unaware of his presence there as he tapped it out.
Wiz was getting organized on the offensive end, which leads to a three by Bub Carrington.
That is a concession of a three-pointer that was not necessary. You either call out the switch so that way nobody is open, or you, seeing your guy getting picked, you got to come up. You got to make them do something. You got to make them pass that ball to Sar and let Sar try to dunk it and then hope that your teammates help. That's the whole point. And that's what we don't do. We haven't been doing it, which is why I said we need a defensive coach to make that apparent, to say, guys, here's why you have to do that. Here's the tape. Here's the film. Is this acceptable? You got to challenge these guys to be like, if you don't get it in your head, I have to train you to do it if you don't know how to do it on your own. You can't assume that people know how to do it. Because that's what the excuse is, all y'all out there, some of y'all, oh, well, they're NBA players. They've been doing this since high school. Well, maybe they didn't know. Why are you assuming? Maybe they had a bad high school coach, or they did in college. Well, maybe they didn't know. Some of these guys didn't have great college coaches. I mean, for real. Like, think about that. Think about some of the programs that some of these guys come from. And maybe they weren't taught the best way to do certain things. But why would you allow it if you're trying to win games? If you can see that they're not going to pull off of a switch, They're not going to call out the defense. They're not going to do the basics. They're not blocking out. You can see they're not blocking out. We're giving up 70 points in the paint. You see that they're not blocking out. You're not going to like call them out on it. What are we talking about? Are we trying to win games? That's all I'm asking. If you continually have problems stopping the ball on a fast break, rotating to the open man on a three, or off of a broken switch, or whatever you want to call it, off of a screen, you won't block out your man ever. You won't contest a shot. You just stand there and watch him shoot it. You'll stand there and watch them shoot it. You won't stay with your man throughout the possession. You turn your back to your man continually. You won't talk on defense. You won't get back on you keep over. And none of that's a problem to nobody. Come on. Fifth shot. Nobody gets back on defense again. I keep saying it, right? Nobody calls out assignments. And again, if you're not on your man, you have to tell somebody so you can pick them up. So again, whether it be a turnover, missed shot, whatever, and and the other team is running. If for whatever reason you lose your assigned player that you're supposed to be guarding, you gotta say, pick up man, I got yours. So that way they know, oh, I was supposed to get him, but he's streaking, so let me get him, and everybody has to rotate accordingly. Whatever the situation is, you got to pick up if we're trying to win. But maybe we don't try to win. I mean, I'm just saying. So, again, off the missed shot, off of the inbound, off of a made shot in this case. Off the inbound pass, Carrington passes it ahead to Poole. Poole drives all the way to the bucket for a layup on this one. Watch this.
Johnson with a double-double, 14, 13 rebounds, 4 helpers. And Poole coming back.
Oh, he's just so quick and crafty in the open floor, Jordan Poole.
No, I don't got nothing to be quick and crafty. We just ain't paying attention. Carrington saw it. We just lollygagging back. La-dee, la-da, don't know what's going on. JJ turn around, don't know what's going on. So many times you'll see Clint especially just kind of lollygagging back, don't know what's going on behind him. That's concession of shots. There's a reason we were 28th in fast break points given up last year, guys. I've shown you that in tons of video. You can't win like that. And we haven't. Have we? No. Sixth shot. Again, you got to call out the defense. You got to stay on your assignment. I'm going to keep saying these things. Poole inbounds to Valanciunas. Poole goes to get the ball. This is off the inbounds. Wallace, Keaton has Poole now. Poole starts to drive, and at the same time, Kispert, I forgot my window was open, my bad, is getting a screen from George. Now, Nance has to help defense. If someone had said, hey, stay with man, O could have stayed with Valanciunas. Instead, O goes to Kispert for some reason. And as soon as that happens, Valanciunas dives to the basket, gets the pass from Poole, and lays it up. I give this one to the whole team because everybody failed again. Simple basketball, y'all.
Hand off to Poole. JP, no look to JV.
There's no reason for O to be way out there. There's no reason for that. There's just no reason. There's no basketball reason for that. Again, participatory defense is not defense. It just isn't. And the NBA knows it. The coaches know it. We ain't going to stay with our assignment. We just ain't going to do it. We don't have the discipline to do it. We don't have the wherewithal to call stuff out to do it. We just kind of just let stuff happen and hope for the best. Again, hoping the team misses shots is not defense. I swear to God, it's not. Let me get my blood pressure back down again. Eighth shot, Bilal has the ball. Valanciunas sets another screen.
Just palming the basketball like it's a tennis ball.
It's too easy.
Pull-up jumper is pure by Bilal. Touching nothing but forward.
At least Trey contested that one. Ninth shot. Valanciunas sets a pick on Wallace. And Man, I swear.
He's doing a better job in this game, creating space, getting himself away from those long limbs. And Bilal Coulibaly.
Deep three by Jordan, who hit it from Poolsville.
What was Oak complaining about? All he had to do is move up. I'm gonna play it again. Watch this now.
He's doing a better job in this game, creating space, getting himself away from those long limbs. And Bilal Coulibaly.
Deep three by Jordan, who hit it from Poolsville.
Tell me the elements of defense that tells you O was playing defense by backing up on that shot. That was defense. That was good defense. That was great defense. He was defending. What was he defending at that point? He saw his man get bumped. He now knows his man cannot defend that shot that's about to happen. It's about to happen because it's been happening all game. We gave up 16 threes in this game. Tenth shot. The game at this point is tied 82-82, third quarter. At the start of this play, Valanciunas has the ball. Kispert is alone at the three-point strike. Okongwu, Trey, and Garrison are standing in the paint. Wallace is at the three on the other side. So I'm not sure why people aren't on their assignments, but Valanciunas fakes a pass. Trey goes out to Kispert, but again, why is Okongwu? I'm going to just play it. 10th shot, third quarter.
JV. Oh, slamming it home. Matthews head. I got to get out of the way. Timeout called by Atlanta.
Matthews got to get out the way. Let me play this again for y'all.
JV. Oh, slamming it home. Matthews head. I got to get out of the way. Timeout called by Atlanta.
Nobody knows who's on who, so everybody's open. Everybody can get it against the Atlanta Hawks. 11th shot. Don't block out.
Poole. A lot of contact on him, but JV there to get the offensive putback.
When the ball's in the air, you got to block out. Not pretend to block out. You got to block out. Here's another non-block out. 12th shot in the third quarter. This is off of a missed shot. Again, Poole gets the rebound this time. And unfortunately, Trey ain't watching his man.
For not allowing Trae Young, but then the Wizards got confused on who was going to go out and guard him. Bilal, touchdown. Coulibaly behind the defense, a Hail Mary.
And you see Poole, he was looking for that because he knows we ain't getting back. He knows we're lollygagging. The coaching staff told them that. You see how that works? Hey, guys, on every missed shot from the Atlanta Hawks, if we get the rebound, go, because they're not going to. 13th shot. What's going on at 5:30 in the morning out here? 13th shot. So again, no matter what, you got to stay with your assignment throughout the possession. Doesn't matter what the situation is. And if you can't, you got to switch. You got to call it out. Okay? And there's no reason to leave your assignment until it's necessary to leave. What do I mean by that? I'll use myself as an example. If I'm playing basketball, as I do still after 40 years, and my man is moving around the court, okay, I'm staying with my man. I don't care what's going on behind me. I'm looking at my man. I know where my man is throughout the whole possession, the whole clock, because we play clock, okay? Now, if somebody happens to not call out a screen and I get picked, I get held usually because they can't really stop me from going through a screen, but they hold me. At that point, something has to change. If I get screened, somebody got to pick up my man. That's the job. Doesn't matter who or why the situation, somebody got to pick up my man. You can't be selfish and be like, oh, well, Chris didn't make it through that screen, or Chris was not fast enough to stay with his man that time. No, this is basketball. It's a team sport. Your job is to pick up, so that way you're not leaving somebody wide open. The Hawks don't know how to do that. We don't do it, okay? So all that being said, Garrison is standing in the paint again. Valanciunas sets a pick on Keaton. Okongwu leaves Valanciunas to look at the ball handler, Poole. He passes it to Valanciunas. Trey has to shade to Kispert because, again, Garrison is gone. He's vanished. So Valanciunas is about to pass it. When he passes it to Bilal, watch what happens.
Washington with just 26 paint points at halftime. They're sitting at 42 right now, so the intentionality for Washington to attack the painted area has been big time here in the second half.
And Coulibaly comes back now for three.
Trey had to shade to Kispert because he sees that nobody is on him. As soon as he did that, they passes it to who hit the three. When you self-create the mismatch, when you self-create issues because you simply won't stay with your man, how is that on one person? This happens every game, by the way. Garrison standing in the paint. He gives up at least 3 threes a game himself coming off the bench. That's 9 points unnecessarily. I'm going to jump ahead real quick. Let me see how many threes he gave up in this game. Garrison gave up 3 threes in this game. He gave up 13 points in this game off the bench. Off the bench. How much did we lose this game by? 13 points? We lost this game 133 to 120, right? That's 13 points off the bench. Get out of here. What shot did I leave off of? Third shot. Uh-oh, I lost my place here. There it is. 14th shot. At this point is 89-86. 14th shot.
JV putting it on the deck and getting a layup.
Okay.
JV wanted a foul, too.
I hate these announcers. But Jonas beat O to the basket on that one. Not great. He was on them, though, but at the end of the day, that was just better offense right there, right? 15th shot. Again, sometimes I just think, I don't know, we're just stupid maybe? I don't know. This is like no excuse for this. We can't recognize anything that's going on the court for some reason. Again, I blame coaching. Valanciunas has the ball. Kispert sets a bat pick on JJ. And instead of simply switching, Garrison just stands there with his arms out, staring into space as Bilal is crashing to the paint. Valanciunas then passes the ball. Trey comes over to help. But again, why can't we just switch? Like, I want somebody to tell me why we can't do these things.
We heard all the conversations in the last 24 hours about how he got locked up by Bilal. Speaking of which, Bilal with a layup.
Did you see what Garrison was doing? Kumbaya out there. I'm going to play it again.
We heard all the conversations in the last 24 hours about how he got locked up by Bilal. Speaking of which, Bilal with a layup.
I'm sorry, Garrison should be benched after that right there. Right? Like, there's no way. Like, if that was a pickup game, sir, you want to play on? Come here. He can't play with us no more. That's what would have happened on Sunday night when we play basketball. Because there's no way you can just let that happen. It's embarrassing. Anyway, it's still just 93-92 at the start of the fourth quarter, despite all the foolery I just showed you. First shot, fourth quarter. Again, nobody knows assignments. Nobody calls out assignments. Nobody gets back on defense. Fast breaks, the whole 9 yards, right? So off of a missed shot, Wizards are running. Kispert fades to the three-point line. And there's a cross-court pass. Teams are able to cross-court pass it on us a whole heck of a lot for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Fourth quarter, first shot.
Too hard on the candles joke. That's from the legend Phil Chenier.
Okay,
who's enjoying
good.
his birthday today.
I'm sorry, Phil. You know it's all love.
Kispert comes back and knocks down a birthday three for Phil.
There you go.
Wizards hit 16 threes in this game. Second shot, fourth quarter. I'm going to just play this one. No explanation needed for this one.
Bub, kick out to JD. Over to Corey. Well, pump fake out to Sarr. Alex Sarr knocking down the three.
There it is.
Nobody cares that Clint was never going to come out to SAR, huh? Third shot, fourth quarter.
Expired.
Not for lack of effort. Great defense by SAR once again to get a piece of that.
Sean with a nice finger roll. Good feed by Alex.
I want you to watch Zach on this one because he overplays George. I'm going to play it again.
Expired.
Not for lack of effort. Great defense by SAR once again to get a piece of that.
Sean with a nice finger roll. Good feed by Alex.
Fourth shot, another missed shot, fast break. Again, Zach is not on his man. And again, you can't just run up the court and say you're playing defense because you're running back. There has to be a purpose for it. It has to be purposeful. It has to be, hey, pick up man. I got yours. Something. But that's not what the Hawks do.
Bub with the rebound. Keyshawn on a pull-up by George. I think he's got it. Timeout.
Fast break points. Kill you. Fifth shot last quarter.
Alex spinning. All-the-way jump shot on Capella.
Very
Opening
nicely.
up his offensive repertoire.
Clint didn't even contest. You know what a contest is? Jumping and using your length to deter that shot. Did Clint jump or just put his hand up? Because putting your hand up ain't defense. It's pretend defense. Want me to play it again? I'll play it again.
Alex spinning. All-the-way jump shot on Capella.
Very
Opening
nicely.
up his offensive repertoire.
Yeah, I don't care. That's what that looked like to me. Conceded another shot. Sixth shot last quarter.
Johnson now guarding Koulibaly. Switch off. Keyshawn putting it on the deck and a kick out. Corey all alone.
I know y'all don't care that Garrison won't stay with this man and just look like he's doing something. He just running around. That's not defense. Running around, looking and stuff like that. No, you stay with your man. Because if you stay with your man can't hit that open three. Period. Seventh shot.
Allen shooting us back into the game. Keyshawn, ooh, between his legs, passing out to Bilal. Oh, these young whiz kids tonight.
Play that again. I want you to watch everybody on this play because JJ actually has Bilal on this play. Watch what happens.
Allen shooting us back into the game. Keyshawn, ooh, between his legs, passing out to Bilal. Oh, these young whiz kids tonight.
See all that movement people picked up? Everybody picked up a man except for JJ. Eighth shot. Garrison again.
And fast break points, and that has been a difference maker as well.
Oh, nice decision to Kispert.
When you're 30 feet away from your man, that's not defense. You can't run 30 feet and think you're going to say you're contesting the shot when you could just been on your man the whole time. And play it again. Just watch Garrison. Garrison has Kispert.
And fast break points, and that has been a difference maker as well.
Oh, nice decision to Kispert.
The only time Garrison should ever leave Kispert is if he's getting picked off of Kispert and he has to switch as a result. Otherwise, you stay with your man through the whole possession. Whatever's happening behind you don't matter. He don't need to be going to the paint. Is he a center? Is he going to block a shot? No. He needs to stay with his man because his man is a three-point specialist. And we give up 17 threes a game. Garrison gave up 3 threes in this game, 13 points in total off the bench. It's not necessary. Ninth shot, fourth quarter. Poole blows by Zach off a non-screen. Wasn't even a screen this time. Clint goes to help, but Roddy is there for help defense as well, and he doesn't move. So You see the results.
Wizards have hung 125 on the Atlanta Hawks, and we still got a little under 4 to go. 127, Poole and JV.
10th shot. Moving screen is involved in this one. Okay? So I just want to prelude this play. But watch what happens.
Just missed that last one, but he's been off to a really good start here in this fourth.
4 of 11 from range for Corey Kispert. But just his presence on the floor opens up the court.
Absolutely.
I don't know, guys. 11th shot. Somebody else leaves somebody open again.
This is a young team having to see the same team twice in 3 nights. Washington using the veterans and the young kids. And Corey Kispert got 2 guys off their feet and scores underneath.
That would never have happened if JJ just actually been on Kispert. Watch this.
This is a young team having to see the same team.
I just wanted you to see that. You see where JJ was? JJ's paying attention to what don't got nothing to do with him on the other side of the court. He needs to be on his man. That's what you use your peripheral for. And that's why you rely on your teammates. If a screen is coming, now you might have to leave Kispert because you're switching. But up until then, you stop Kispert from scoring. Your job is whoever you're assigned to for that period of time to stop them from scoring. And if you get bumped or switched or whatever, now you got to try to stop that new person from scoring. And if that happens to be a switch on a bigger guy or a smaller guy or whatever, now you got a double team. That's the job. You're protecting each other out there on the court. To not do that means you're not trying to win the game. That's simply all that means. You ain't trying to win the game. Because all these other teams out there, that's what they do to us all the time. Last shot, 4th quarter.
Another solid game. Not only did he do that, he had a career night.
Yep.
He had 27 points on an efficient 11 of 14 from the field and did yeoman's work once again on the defensive end.
So that's the last field goal that the Wizards hit on us on a 133-120 score. So in this game, Clint gave up 13, Trey gave up 18, Zach gave up 15, Roddy gave up 14 off the bench, by the way. Nats only gave up 3, didn't play a lot. Garrison 13. I gave 4 points to the whole team. Okongwu gave up 21 points in this game. And JJ gave up 7. So again, I mentioned it earlier, out of all the games I've reviewed so far, this is the second highest that Trey has given up in points. But that's 18 points out of 133 points. Who gave up all the other points? See, again, it's not about one player giving up buckets in a game. It's all the buckets cumulatively, and what type of buckets were they? We gave up 16 threes in this game. Clint gave up 3 threes. Zach gave up 3 threes. Roddy gave up 2. Nance gave up a 3. Garrison gave up 3. O gave up 1, 2, 3. And JJ gave up a 3. That's just not one player giving up 16 threes. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players on the Hawks that gave up threes in this game. They hit 16 of them. So you can't keep blaming one player for everything when it's the whole team messing up every game. And that's just on defense. Again, earlier I mentioned the Hawks left 35 points on the board from 15 passes from Trae Young. Wide open shots we're talking about. I showed you some. Want to see them again? I'll play a couple of them real quick. Here's one in the first quarter.
On that second line of defense and continued his way to the cup. Nicely executed.
Oh, Trey got him dancing. Then he kicks it out.
He missed that shot. Here's another one.
Precise information there to learn from, and that's what all these young players are having the opportunity to do, learning in the game.
He missed that shot. Here's another one.
It's just Capella's 3rd board tonight.
That was a nice read by Jordan Poole on the cross match to go ahead and take it up in there.
Trey inside to Capella. That was blocked by Sarr.
Trey passes the ball almost 30 times a game. Do y'all know that? And he only gets 10 or 11 assists a game. That's crazy. Just telling you, that's crazy. What if people started hitting their shots more? What would happen? We would blow teams away. The Kings game that I'm about to review and finish, hopefully today sometime or another, the Hawks left 37 points on the board in that Kings game that we lost. 37 points off of 14 extra passes from Trae. If Trae Young just stopped passing the ball, he might score 70 points every game. He had 35 and 15 in this Wizards game I just showed y'all. 35 and 15. He had 15 assists in this game, but we still left 35 points on the board. He should have had 29 assists in this game, basically. No, everybody's not going to hit every shot, but these shots are wide open. A lot of these are dunks missed, layups missed, wide open threes missed. I'm talking wide open threes. It's not just one person messing up. It's the whole team not doing right every game. And that's what's holding us back. It ain't one player. And it sure ain't Trae. And I showed that last year, in last year's games, to say, here's 28 games that we're missing. If we're so much better without Trae Young and his bad defense, how come we're not locking down teams then? We're giving up 120 points every game still, or more. We're giving up 80 points in the paint. We're giving up 23 threes in the game. Trae ain't here. Why is it still happening? Can anybody answer that? Nobody ever did. I show it, and no one ever says nothing. They just keep saying crazy stuff. And I'm like, okay. I was told that Dyson Daniels wasn't going to be able to play defense because of Trae Young. He about to be Defensive Player of the Year. Ain't that something? That's crazy. We just got to tighten up. All we got to do is tighten up. And we saw, again, I said the Hawks were going to be 6th in the East this year. After all the moves were made, we drafted, trade, free agency or whatever. These were the moves. This was the roster. And I said, we can do it if we change what we were doing from last year going into 2024, and we fix not having participation defense. We have some pride on defense. We stop the ball on fast breaks, right? We rotate to the open man, right? We block out on missed shots. We contest all shots. We stay with our assignments. How many times did you see Garrison just leave Kispert wide open for a 3? That's embarrassing. Talk on defense. We don't do it. Nobody knows what's going on behind you. Getting back on defense. Missed shot, whatever the case is, you got to get back and stop over helping. If we did any of this, we'd be almost unstoppable because, again, scoring is not the problem. It's never been the problem. We gave up 22 threes to the Knicks in that game that we won. Okay? That's not sustainable, is it? But again, that game against the Knicks proves that I'm right on the basis of believing that the team can finish in 6th. Because in that game, they adjusted. For the first time all season, there was adjustments that have not been happening before. I saw Clint coming out the paint and contesting a three-point shooter. Didn't happen a lot, but it happened a few times. I saw Coach Quinn take Trae off of Bridges, put him on Hart near the end of the game. By the way, Bridges didn't have 50 points in that game, by the way. He had 10 points. So get out of here with all that nonsense. You know, people want to act like he had 20, 30, 40 points. He had 10 points in that game. Okay? Just throwing it out there. We didn't give up a lot of points in the paint, mostly because they were shooting all those threes, but still, we didn't give a lot of points in the paint. Okay? So that was good. Again, we competed wholeheartedly in that game, higher than we ever have all season. Zach was doing his thing, obviously, but he also was playing defense. He also had 7 boards. I think he had 2 blocks. He had 3 steals. JJ had like 17 rebounds. Clint didn't miss a shot and hit 2 free throws that were clutch. And I gave Clint credit for hitting 75% for the season so far. I wish he had been doing it the last 4 years, but hey, better late than never, right? But that's another reason I said there's no excuse for nobody to not be able to hit 70% or more from the free throw line. There's no reason for it. Okongwu hits 80%. Why can't Clint hit 70%, right? We needed that. We lost 21 games last year by 7 points or less. We needed those free throws, doggone it. We needed it. We've never really been that far away from being actually a decent team. We just got to be able to fill in some of those blanks. And I think, again, the moves that we did make this year, although it wasn't all the moves I wanted, I felt it was enough for us to turn the corner. Now, again, didn't anticipate all these injuries. Couldn't anticipate that. But remember, Trae Young is leading the league in assists and leading in points created with a half-healthy team. Think about that for a second. And that's why I keep saying Trae Young is trying to get 20, 30 assists every game. It just ain't happening. If all of a sudden you do get Kobe back and Bogey back and Hunter back, Vitt back and others or whatnot, Trae might average 15 assists a game at that point. And again, I've said it from the jump. It needs to be Trae, it needs to be Dyson, it needs to be Zach starting, it needs to be JJ starting, and Okongwu starting at center. He gives us the best chance to play 5-on-5. Okay. He didn't play against the Knicks that great, but he had 5 assists in that game too. Then off the bench, Kobe, finally we have a number 2 point guard. Bogey and Hunter coming off the bench gives you 20, 25, maybe 30 points off the bench sometimes, depending on the matchup. But they need to come off the bench. It makes us a deeper team. We're probably the deepest team we've ever had, because you also would have Nance coming off the bench at power forward position and Clint coming off the bench at center, going against the twos of the other team. That's a really good matchup. I trust that. A veteran bench. And I trust Hunter coming off of twos a whole lot more than ones. I don't have to worry about him playing defense no more. And if he's coming off the bench, we can mitigate maybe his injuries a little bit. Maybe he'll play 70 games, although right now I don't think it's going to happen this year either. He's never played 70 games in the season, but coming off the bench primarily, maybe that'll help a little bit. But he can hit a standstill jumper. He can hit free throws. He can hit a 3, right? Bogan can hit 3s all day long, right? But we got to mitigate his minutes because he gives us so many points off the bench. Garrison gave up 13 points off the bench in this Wizards game I just showed you. Roddy gave up 14 points off the bench in this game I just showed you. That's a lot of points. That's 27 points off the bench that we gave up. How many points did we lose by? We lost by 13. You see what I'm saying? So again, you got to figure out how to mitigate some of this. If people can't play defense, you might not be able to play them that many minutes. That's coaching though. So if the coaches are not going to show them what they're doing wrong, the only other way to do something about it is not let them play as much. Because you got to do, if you're trying to win, you got to do something, right? If the players don't get it, you got to do something about the players. Players can't get in the game unless the coaches let them in, right? Right? Am I wrong? Come here, Garrison. That's what JJ just Redick did the other night with D'Angelo Russell effing it up all night long. He pulled him, benched him. You're playing like garbage. You are trash, sir. You got to come here. Y'all saw that, right? So why can't, if he could do it, why can't Quinn Snyder do it? That's all I've been asking for years. If you're messing up your team, you can't be allowed to keep doing whatever you want to do out there. That's the job. If you don't want to manage the team, don't be a manager. Don't be a coach. What's wrong with that? Oh, well, Chris, they make so much money. Who cares? Y'all care about that. I don't care about that. The coaches shouldn't care about that because that's their job. That's how coaches keep getting fired every year. They won't take control of the team. If you don't want to take control of the team, don't coach. That's all I say. That's all I'm saying. The Wizards had 56 points in the paint in this game. They hit 16 threes. We gave up 25 fast break points. We lost this game either or. The 16 threes or the 25 fast break points. Pick your poison. Which one? We lost by 13 points. What's 16 times 3 real quick? I'll do the math. I'm not good at math. I admit it. Oops. 48 points from threes. So how did we lose this game? We gave up 16 3-pointers for 48 points, or we gave up the 25 fast break points, or we gave up the 56 points in the paint. Like, what do you want to use as the reason we lost this game in particular? But it wasn't because of one person. Because there's a whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7 players that played in this game. Because we're playing shorthanded, obviously, in this game. So that's all I'm saying. And as the season progresses, the more we can mitigate these things, the better the Hawks will be. The more games we will win. We stop giving up 17 threes every game in 2024, we will win more games easily. Again, the Knicks just hit 22 on us. The only reason we won that game was we were able to lock down at the end, okay, with some adjustments. We didn't give up a lot of points in the paint. And we hit some clutch buckets as well, right? In other words, we outscored the Knicks. But you can't say that we're going to do that all the time. Let's just let teams not score that much. You see what I'm saying? Instead of giving up 121 points every game, let's give up 114 points a game. Let's see how that works. Right? We'll win more games just giving up 7 less points a game. So what can we do? Give up 2 less threes, maybe? Can we give up 10 less fast break points every now and again? Like, can we just do what other teams do to us all the time? And that's where coaching comes back in. Show these guys why it's important for them to get back on defense. Show why you got to switch or you got to fight through the screen. Fight through that screen. You don't have to be screened. We screen ourselves so many times. Hey, stay with your man. Why are you standing in the paint? Your man is not in the paint. Your man is not in the paint. Your man is 30 feet away. Like, get a tape measure. They should literally take one of these clips that I show, take a tape measure. You remember Hoosiers and Coach Gene Hackman, the coach character, took the measuring tape and measured the rim to the floor and the free to show these are the same dimensions, just like it is in our little school. In this big old school, the court is the same size. Well, you need to show Garrison, look at where you're standing, and here's the tape measure, and this is how far away you're standing from your man Kispert over here at the 3. There is no way you're going to block his shot from being 30 feet away. Why are you here? And they need to be able to answer that to the coach. Well, coach, I was over here because that's not a good reason. Your man is over there. You didn't have to. Why are you providing help defense to somebody who don't need help yet? You see how simple that is? Their man was covered. Their man was covered. Their man was covered. Your man is the only one not covered, and the ball is swinging. And as soon as that ball gets to Kispert, he's going to hit the 3. And Garrison gives up 3 to 4 threes just on that every game. Except for the Knicks game. The Knicks game, that was another adjustment. You could see that he was making a concerted effort to not stand in the paint. I was proud of him. I was in shock for a minute, though. I was like, wait a minute, this ain't regular. That's how I knew we were going to win that game. Because it was obvious that somebody did some coaching in that game. There were things that happened in that Knicks game. And I know a lot of it was because they got blown out against the Boston Celtics and everything. But still, it's progress. And that's all I'm asking. There was a concerted effort to say, Clint, you got to come up. You cannot let this man just keep shooting straight up threes on you, sir. Cat is out there. He can hit that shot. Again, I don't believe Clint thinks anybody in the league can hit threes since he can't. He's taken 5 3-pointers in 10 years, guys. That's 0%. 0. Zilch. Nada. I don't believe he thinks anybody can hit a 3 because he don't defend bigs who hit threes. He won't do it. He always retreats. He always gives up the shot. He always pretends to contest. He's flat-footed and he has a hand in the air, maybe. It's very seldom that he's coming up full speed jumping at you. And those are the times where he's actually coming out of the paint. But he could just stay with his guy on those picks and rolls if we call it out. But if we don't call it out, we need to switch and make them redo something else, reset. But we won't do it. I pray one day we will start, because the moment we do, we'll blow out teams. Teams can't really play us. Even as beat up and messed up as we are, we just beat the number 2 seed in the East from last year. And they added Bridges and Cat. And they still have Brunson, right? Not so much with Dyson on them, though, huh? Right? So that's all I'm looking at. Again, I'm going to be working on the Kings game today. I might try to get it done before tonight's game. I'm trying to catch up on all these games. They've run up so many of them together. It's just been hard to catch up. Me trying to actually work every day and stuff like that. It takes a long time to put these videos together, obviously, with all the game footage and everything like that. But again, I'm adding a new feature to the review. So it's not going to just be shot for shot how the team beat us or how the team scored against us, even if we won. But I'm also going to add, look at all these empty shots that we didn't make, even though we got the passes and they're wide open. Okay? Because again, the only reason I'm doing these reviews is that people refuse to want to blame the whole team. They just want to try to blame one player. And I'm just pointing it out. It ain't one player. It's the whole team and the coaching staff. Because one player can't lose all these games. I've proved that beyond a shadow of a doubt. Again, if Trae Young was such a bad player, the Hawks wouldn't be 27-33 without him. That's 33 losses. They would be 60-0 or 50-10 or 40-20 at minimum, but they're 27-33 without the man. That's not good. That's not even 500 ball, right? And again, last year, we didn't move up in standings without him last year. We didn't move up, not one bit. We were still in 10th, and we had a chance to move up. The last game that we won last year was against the Detroit Pistons, and we let Malachi Flynn drop 50 on us, and we had to hold on to win that game. And Trae Young didn't play. And then the next 3 games after that, we gave up 18 threes, 23 threes, and 18 threes in 3 consecutive games that we did not win. Trae didn't play, and we had a chance to move up in the standings to get home court for the play-in. We're going to be in the play-in no matter what, but we could at least got home court. The Bulls weren't that hot at that time. We lost those 3 games in a row. Then Trae comes back in his first game. He's on a minutes restriction against Charlotte. He plays the first 3 quarters. They're winning that game 92-77 when he left. We lost that game 115-114, and people blame Trae Young for that for some reason. Not sure how. The next game against the Minnesota Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert goes 10 for 10 from the floor, 25 points, 19 rebounds. Was Trae Young playing Rudy Gobert? We lost that game by 3 points. We had the lead twice in the fourth quarter. We lost by 3 points. Why? Because we decided not to double team Ant-Man at the end. We're going to let Kobe Buffkin try to stop him. Last 2 shots of the game. Game after that, we gave up 157 points to the Indiana Pacers. Just ridiculous. Hunter was in that game. DJ was in that game. Why we give up 157 freaking points? I don't know. Go watch. I showed it to you. And of course, the last game of the season of 2023, the playing game against the Chicago Bulls, we lost that game. Kobe White had 42, but Vucevic also had 24. DeRozan had 22. Go back and watch that game that I show you on Around the ATL, because we didn't lose that game because of Trae Young. We just did not. By the way, Hunter had 8 points and 2 rebounds in that game. I show you why we lost that game. So again, I just urge everybody to take the time to watch Around the ATL, watch these breakdowns and reviews just to show you what the Hawks are doing as opposed to what you think the Hawks are doing and why we're losing these games are not in games that we're supposed to be in, that are winnable games. Because again, it's just a principle of we need more from everybody all the time. It's the consistency part that's taken us away from being a contender in the Eastern Conference. That's it. That's all it is. We could have contended last year and we just didn't have enough people contending. You see what I'm saying? I showed you that. It's brutal, some of the stuff that I show you. I know, I had somebody, I think it was A1 Forever on Twitter. He watched one of the reviews. He was like, this is disheartening. He saw, I'm going to show you this. When John Harris joined the show the other day when I did the OKC review, he saw this play right here. He didn't notice this. I'm going to show it to you real quick. Let me play it for you real quick.
Another gaining some momentum here.
Oh, a little stutter step to hesitation. SGA down the lane, bisecting the middle, and a tough finish.
That finish shouldn't have been possible. You want to know why it was possible? Because Clint got out the way. This is basketball, isn't it? Clint's getting paid how much per year? He got out the way and let Shy lay that ball up. His job is to not let him lay the ball up. I'm not saying he needed to punch him. I'm not saying he needed to elbow him, but he could have blocked the shot or tried to block it, though. And we can see shots like that every night, guys. We have been for years now. That's what we do. That's what we've been doing. And I'm showing it to you now. You might not like it. You might not want to watch it. But I'm showing you this is what's been happening in these games. When I show you shot for shot, it's easier to see. When you watch it just during the game and you're drinking a little sip, something, you know, sipping on the scissor, whatever, smoking the puff, whatever, you're not seeing all this stuff. But when I break it down shot for shot and you see people standing in the paint and their man is 30 feet away, or nobody's calling out the switch, or nobody's stepping up off of a screen, it's brutal. Nobody's blocking out on a missed shot. It's brutal. Nobody's getting back on defense off of a missed shot. It's brutal. They're getting layups and threes off of fast breaks, cross-court passes. That's ridiculous, isn't it? Or not, right? So again, make sure you subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio page. Make sure you check out Facebook and Instagram, IMTN Worldwide Radio, if you wish. You can follow me on Twitter, Intellect ATL, and Jordan 23, my partner, my co-host on Around the ATL. Again, he's taking care of his mom who's battling cancer right now. So make sure you give Jordan a shout if you know Jordan personally. I appreciate the support. That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Y'all take care. It is 6 in the morning. Man, it's 6 for real. Dang. I'm gonna try to get this Kings game done. I'm gonna see if I can upload all the video, get it all put together and everything. I'm gonna see if I can get it done by this afternoon, depending on how work goes or whatnot, before tonight's game. And if not, just look out for it on the weekend. I'm gonna try to catch up all the way through this Knicks game somehow between now and the end of the weekend. It's gonna be a miracle if I pull that off. We will see if we get to do it or not. But one more time, make sure you subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio YouTube page, and make sure you let other Atlanta sports fans know about the show. I'm also going to be doing a Falcons show. Hadn't done one in a while. I'm way behind. I'm going to do one on Atlanta United. Maybe not a whole show, but at least a segment, because they are in the playoffs still. They just beat Miami. Really big win. Nobody thought that would happen, but they beat them. So that way they can have a chance to actually go to the next round. I think they play Saturday. They play tomorrow, actually. So check that out. I might do a Braves segment to kind of finish the season officially, because, by the way, I've been doing Around the ATL side notes episodes because I haven't been able to do a show with Jordan. Usually we're doing a 2-hour show that we do all Atlanta sports all at once. UGA, Georgia Tech, sometimes Clark, Atlanta, like all the college sports, Braves, Atlanta Dream, the new volleyball team, Atlanta Vibe that's in town. We do all the pro sports teams. But since we haven't been able to do a joint show, I've just been doing these segmented shows just to kind of keep stuff going, so to speak. I've been concentrating on the Hawks because it's NBA season or whatnot. But I am going to start doing some Falcons, some Atlanta United, some college football. College basketball has started now, but it's just been really tough per my schedule. It's been hectic. So definitely keep tuning in, keep watching, definitely subscribe. You'll see some more. So that being said, let me go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to try to get a little bit of rest before I start my day. This has been Around the ATL on IMTN Worldwide Radio. Kings game is coming next, so be looking out for that. Y'all take care. Peace.